A Senate confirmation hearing for President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention turned into one of the most closely watched hearings on Capitol Hill today. Senators from both parties questioned Dr. Erika Schwartz on vaccine policy, scientific independence, and the role of the CDC in protecting public health. One of the sharpest exchanges came from Senator Maggie Hassan. She asked Dr. Schwartz whether she would continue promoting flu vaccinations if instructed by the Secretary of Health and Human Services to stop during a severe flu season. Rather than giving a direct yes or no answer, Dr. Schwartz spoke about balancing agency priorities and limited resources. Senator Hassan interrupted, noting that the question was based on a real event rather than a hypothetical scenario. The senator pointed out that hundreds of children die from seasonal influenza each year and argued that promoting vaccination is one of the CDC's most effective public health responsibilities. Although Dr. Schwartz said she would always work to protect children, she stopped short of directly saying she would reject such an order if it conflicted with public health guidance. The discussion then shifted to executive authority. Senator Hassan asked whether Dr. Schwartz would follow the law if a president instructed her to take an action she believed was illegal. Dr. Schwartz responded that she did not believe President Trump would ask her to violate the law and emphasized that she would always follow legal requirements. Hassan replied that history has included disputes over executive authority and said public officials must be prepared to uphold the law regardless of who issues an order. Another major topic involved vaccine recommendations. Senator Hassan reminded the nominee that the CDC director traditionally has final responsibility for approving vaccine recommendations after reviewing advice from scientific experts. Dr. Schwartz explained the process involving the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, commonly known as ACIP, but suggested the health secretary ultimately plays a policy role. Hassan responded that federal procedures place the final recommendation with the CDC director before informing the secretary. She urged Dr. Schwartz to ensure scientific evidence, not political pressure, guides future vaccine decisions. The hearing continued with questioning from Senator Bernie Sanders. Sanders asked whether Dr. Schwartz would inform Congress if she believed she had been directed to implement policies that lacked scientific support or could endanger public health. Dr. Schwartz again said she did not believe such a situation would occur under the current administration. Sanders expressed skepticism and encouraged her to remain independent if confirmed. The conversation then turned to autism research. Senator Sanders noted that numerous large scientific studies conducted around the world have found no evidence linking routine childhood vaccines to autism. He asked Dr. Schwartz whether she accepted that scientific consensus. She answered that she does accept the existing evidence showing vaccines do not cause autism, while also emphasizing that researchers should continue investigating the underlying causes of autism spectrum disorders. When Sanders asked whether she would remove any CDC materials suggesting a vaccine-autism connection if they conflicted with scientific evidence, Dr. Schwartz said she would first review the information and discuss the matter with agency leadership before making a decision. Another exchange focused on military readiness. Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester questioned Dr. Schwartz about influenza vaccination policies for members of the U.S. military. Drawing on her experience as a physician serving military personnel, Dr. Schwartz said she has personally administered thousands of vaccines throughout her career and believes vaccines are both safe and effective. She also acknowledged that influenza vaccines vary in effectiveness from season to season, but maintained that they remain an important tool for preventing illness and protecting military readiness. Blunt Rochester also raised concerns about recent measles outbreaks and asked whether Dr. Schwartz would publicly encourage Americans to receive recommended vaccinations. Dr. Schwartz responded that she supports vaccines while recognizing that some Americans have concerns about vaccination. She said her goal would be to communicate with the public while relying on scientific evidence. The senator also asked whether nationwide back-to-school vaccination education campaigns should continue. Dr. Schwartz said she would first consult career scientists at the CDC before deciding how such programs should move forward. Elsewhere on Capitol Hill, another confirmation hearing generated significant attention. President Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence, Clayton, faced repeated questioning from Senator Jon Ossoff. Ossoff asked a straightforward question: who won the 2020 presidential election? Clayton declined to give a direct answer, saying he did not want to engage in political debate. Ossoff repeatedly pressed for a factual response, arguing that someone seeking to oversee the nation's intelligence agencies should be willing to answer a basic question about a certified presidential election. The exchange became one of the most discussed moments from the day's hearings. Taken together, today's confirmation hearings highlighted broader debates over scientific independence, vaccine policy, executive authority, and public trust in federal institutions. The Senate is expected to continue reviewing several key nominations in the coming weeks, with additional hearings likely to focus on public health, national security, and executive branch leadership. We'll continue following these developments and bring you verified updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next news update.